We're back for more of today's stories. Vice President Dr. Samuel Kam met Laotian President Shomali Sayason at Hokkam Presidential Palace in Vientiane on the 12th, strengthening bilateral friendly relations, promoting cooperation for Myanmar's ASEAN chairmanship, as well as regional programs such as ASEAN, ACMEX, and Jamias were top on the discussion. They also discussed to promote cooperation for emergence of Myanmar-Laos Mekong River Crossing Bridge and multi-sectoral cooperation in cultural, tourism, religious, education, and agricultural sectors. Moving on, Vice President Dr. Samuel Kam and CLMV heads of states and governments attended 6th CLMV Summit at Donchan Palace Hotel in Vientiane, Laos on the 12th of March. On arrival at the summit venue, Laotian Prime Minister Thongsin Thamawong welcomed the visiting CLMV leaders. On the occasion, the Laotian Prime Minister delivered an inaugural address. At the summit, the CLMV leaders and ASEAN Secretary General took part in the discussion. Vice President Dr. Samuel Kam congratulated Cambodia for the follow-up projects and successful holding of 4th CLMV Economic Ministers meeting, Vietnam for the 1st CLMV Tourism Ministers meeting, and joint declaration for cooperation in tourism sector on One Destiny, 4 countries, and Cambodia and Thailand for their initial efforts for ACMEX single visa scheme. To facilitate more connectivity, there is a bridge project between Myanmar and Laos. Upon completion, the bridge could further promote tourism, trade, and Golden Triangle regional development. The Vice President also clarified economic reforms and business opportunities as foreign investment law was recently promulgated. The EU and the US have already lifted some economic restrictions and allowed general license for money transfer so that Myanmar citizens could enjoy money remittance. On 22nd February, the US issued general license to 4 Myanmar banks. He invited more foreign investments, especially for labor-intensive industries. The ongoing special economic zones of Dawei, Chaopiu, and Tilawa are vital for the Union. Among them, the Dawei Deep Seaport is under construction and it is located between Myanmar-Thai border. Upon completion, it would greatly contribute to East-West Economic Corridor connecting South China Sea and the Bay of Bengal. Moreover, it can facilitate smooth commodity flow from Middle East, Africa, and Europe to Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, and China without using Malacca Strait. The Vice President also expressed gratitude to the support of CLMV counterparts and ASEAN Secretariat and the Japanese assistance of $20 million within Mekong-Japan Cooperation Framework. The summit adopted 6th CLMV Summit Joint Declaration and the date and venue of 7th CLMV Summit. Dr. Samuel Kam delivered an acceptance speech for hosting the 7th CLMV Summit. He expressed gratitude for hospitality to the previous host countries and pledged that Myanmar would try its best for hosting the 7th CLMV Summit. The 6th CLMV Summit ended with closing speech by the Laotian Prime Minister. With regard to good traditions and pledges made at the Vientiane Summit in 2004, Kuala Lumpur Summit in 2005, Cebu Summit in 2007, Hanoi Summit in 2008, Phnom Penh Summit in 2010, the 6th Summit pledged for more cooperation in common interest and good neighborliness. In order to establish ASEAN Community by the year 2015, the 5th CLMV Summit agreed to implement the projects with a vision to narrow down the development gap among ASEAN member countries. The 6th Summit overviewed progress of agreed projects implementation, CLMV integration and economic cooperation, and future plans. In honor of the visiting heads of states and governments, the Laotian Prime Minister hosted a gala dinner at the Donchan Palace. Meanwhile, the Vice President, Dr. Samuel Kam, paid homage to Talwang Pagoda in Vientiane on the 12th and donated cash for the pagoda. In Quezon Pombihan Museum, he studied documentary photos of Laotian President Quezon Pongvihan, and progressive images of Laos. The Vice President and party also visited Hopraked and Wat Sisaket temples and paid homage to the Buddha images. We have more news to come. Please stay with us.